welcome to Critical Political. I'm Corey, and you're watching The Political Void. This week, we are delving into detention centers, also known as concentration camps, and their associated atrocities in history and today. Here we go. Between 1940 and 1945, Germany operated the Auschwitz complex in occupied Poland, which became the largest extermination and concentration camp. Beyond being a massive site for forced labor, it functioned as the primary location for the final solution, resulting in the systematic murder of more than 1.1 million individuals, the vast majority of whom were European Jews. The complex was developed in stages, beginning with Auschwitz I in April 1940 near Oswiecim, initially intended for resistance members and Polish political prisoners. By 1942, however, the site had transitioned into the center of the systemic mass murder of Jewish populations across Europe, eventually comprising 3 primary locations or complexes and over 40 subcamps for slave labor. The network included Auschwitz II, which housed 15,000 to 20,000 prisoners, and featured the notorious Arbeit macht frei, or Work Makes You Free gate. The primary extermination efforts were concentrated at Auschwitz II Birkenau, established in late 1941, where most victims were killed in gas chambers, built to look like shower rooms. Additionally, Auschwitz III Monowitz was created specifically to provide forced labor for IG Farben's fuel and synthetic rubber operations. Out of approximately 1.3 million individuals deported to the Auschwitz complex, an estimated 1.1 million perished. This staggering death toll comprised roughly 1 million Jews, 75,000 Poles, 21,000 Roma, which included Sinti and Roma, and 14,000 Soviet prisoners of war, along thousands of others labeled as undesirables. SS doctors conducted immediate selections upon arrival to determine who would be funneled into the forced labor and who would be murdered at once in the gas chambers. Furthermore, prisoners, including children and twins, were often subjected to horrific pseudoscientific medical experiments, most notably those performed by Dr. Joseph Mengele. The SS sought to eliminate proof of their atrocities as the Soviet Red Army closed in during the final months of 1944 and early 1945. Consequently, nearly 60,000 captives were driven on harrowing death marches in January 1945, resulting in thousands of fatalities due to exposure or execution. Soviet forces eventually liberated those who remained at the camp on January 27, 1945. Today, the Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial and Museum preserves the location, honoring the victims while functioning as a primary institution for Holocaust education. By the way, this video is sponsored by the like button. Click it below to find out more. With historic examples of how detention centers can become something far more sinister, it is concerning just how easily the US government has fell into a similar pattern. The scale of this crisis is exemplified by Camp East Montana in El Paso, Texas, which now stands as the nation's largest immigration facility. Federal audits of the site have uncovered a litany of safety violations, including the abandonment of mandatory security checks and a pervasive failure to document use of force incidents. The situation in Florida is even more alarming. At a state-run detention center in the Everglades, infamously dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, a 2025 investigation by the Miami Herald revealed a disturbing disappearance of records. Out of approximately 1,800 detainees, 2/3 suddenly vanished from the official ICE database, leaving no public trace of their location or status. This mass removal of names sparked immediate legal challenges and public outcry. While hundreds of records were deleted entirely, others were obscured by the cryptic instruction, "Call ICE for details," effectively blocking families and legal counsel from finding those in custody. Although officials claimed these individuals were simply transferred or deported, the process was described as chaotic. Some detainees were reportedly expelled from the country despite holding active deportation relief orders or ongoing legal cases, leaving their attorneys in a state of desperation. On May 22nd, a coordinated labor and hunger strike was launched by hundreds of individuals held at Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey, the Northeast's largest immigration detention facility. This intentional protest was timed to coincide with a press conference and rally organized by families on the outside. The success of this movement is a result of months of collaborative organizing between those inside and external activists. This persistent pressure has already prompted the governor of New Jersey to propose an expansion of legal representation for detained immigrants. For years, AFSC staff have worked alongside these individuals and their families, documenting facility conditions and amplifying the voices of those in custody. While the media has concentrated on the chaos outside, including the pepper spraying of New Jersey Senator Andy Kim, assaults on protesters by state police and ICE agents, and Mayor Ras Baraka's curfew, the efforts of those within the walls often go ignored. It is the principled, peaceful organizing of the people inside that truly drives these demonstrations and asserts the dignity that the detention system attempts to strip away. Yehuda Bauer, a respected authority on the Holocaust, said, "Thou shalt not be a victim, thou shalt not be a perpetrator, but above all, thou shalt not be a bystander." Officially, we are not at executions and mass graves. Yet. So it's crucial to understand that anyone being treated inhumanely is a wound to us all. That's all for this week. Until next time, remember, silence is compliance. Your voice is vital. Stand up, speak out, strike back. They don't know what they started. If you appreciate this content, please like, share, and subscribe. For updates, ring the bell. Your support truly helps the channel.